All right. Welcome back, folks, to Guard Your Savings, the podcast hosted by Dolph Janis, who is the owner and founder and insurance professional, by the way, of Clear Income Strategies right outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. Get in touch with Dolph and the team and get more episodes of this podcast on guardyoursavings.com. I'm your co-host, Doug Turnbull, and joining us on the line here is Dolph Janis, just fresh off a lunch delivery from a client there, I believe, if I understood you correctly, Dolph. So hope you have some good food in your belly before we launch off into another set of topics today. How you doing?
Can you ever go wrong with some good Mexican food?
Oh, man, no, you cannot. Well, I mean, you can go wrong with bad Mexican food, but certainly if you got the good stuff, man, that always hits the spot wherever it came from, even as low as Taco Bell as far as I know.
Now, if you're ever in the Ballantyne area here in Charlotte, I'd highly say go to Zapata's, one of my favorite Mexican restaurants. And here, a little shout out to them. Their chips and salsa, unbelievable. The service is great. The prices are reasonable. It's a great place to go to.
If you know that you could brag about a place because of their chips and salsa, that's just the icebreaker. That means it's all gotta be good, right?
They say in Seinfeld, salsa.
I love it. Viva Zapata, right? No, the Zapata's in Ballantyne, North Carolina. So, Dolph, you're a food aficionado, and you reminded me that in a past life you used to be a chef, and here we are midst of the holiday season. Folks that are hearing this are probably hearing this after Thanksgiving, and even though it's just you, your wife, and your daughter, you cook for an army.
Yes, I do. I get up every Thanksgiving, my favorite holiday of the year, because it's nothing better than giving thanks to people. And it's like
Amen.
Part of what I do for a living is being thankful to help people out and get them retired and take care of their portfolio. But 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm up and I'm starting. I'm prepping.
Wow.
And dinner served at about 6:37. There's just three of us. Every once in a while we have some family over. But I can serve 15, 20 people with the amount of food I put together. We have leftovers for weeks. It's one of those little freezer Ziploc bags where you can freeze everything and suck all the air out of them. Are great because you can use this food for all the way through Christmas.
And so you don't have any anticipated guests coming over, but so you might just be able to feed your wife and daughter for days and days.
Yeah, my daughter will be sick of turkey and all that stuff after about 4 or 5 days.
Because you're a cook, I mean, you know how to whip up all sorts of things. Do you have an oddball dish that makes it onto the Thanksgiving table that's a little bit standard deviation away from Thanksgiving norms?
Yes, there's this, her mom gave us this recipe for a spaghetti with cheese and Mexican salsa that's baked. It's the best dish we have.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. Okay. And is there something you cook differently for Christmas versus Thanksgiving? A lot of times those foods parallel.
I'm not going to give up my Christmas. Maybe on the next podcast, I'll give a few hints out there for what to do, because everybody has their different taste buds when it comes to the holidays. All I know is that I lean more towards my Polish heritage when it comes towards Christmas with gołąbki and pierogies and kielbasa. So that's my little teaser for the day on that.
Okay, we'll have to get into that here on the episode after next, if you will, deep into December. Well, Dolph, today we're going to talk about when to retire, magic numbers. We're getting toward the end of the year, so some people are planning for 2025, and maybe they're hitting one of those benchmarks, either financially or just on the calendar themselves. So help us through when people go to guardyoursavings.com and hook up with you and the team at Clear Income Strategies, how you walk someone through the decision whether or not to retire.
Well, the first thing about retirement is, do you want to retire? You have to ask your question, because a lot of people retire too early, wait too late. They don't think it out through and through what the ramifications are of retirement, because one of the biggest differences in retirement is all of a sudden now you're paying yourself. And that's just something a lot of people aren't used to, is you're paying yourself on how you're going to live. Instead of working, waking up, your routines change. I mean, I know a ton of people have retired. I have this little clicker in my office about someone will come into my office and say, "Hey, Dolph, I like, when do you want to retire, Doug?" And they'll be like, "Well, I want to retire in 5 years." And I said, "What if I can get you retired in 2 to 3? Would you accept it?" And then you lay out the plan. And when you lay out the plan and they see that they have the income coming in, and it changes their whole outlook. But I mean, retirement is not just something to say, "Hey, I'm going to retire next January. I'm going to work one more year." Now, the question is what do you do during that year to prepare for retirement? It's not like a vacation. Like you're going to go on a cruise in 6 months and you're preparing for that cruise. You're getting your ride together. You're getting your hotel together. You're getting all that yada yada stuff together. Got to have the yada yada. But when it comes into retirement, there is no yada yada. You have to have everything planned out on, are you ready to retire? If you're married, is your spouse ready for you to retire? If you have kids, are the kids ready for you to retire? And then the most important, are you ready to retire? I wrote an article for Forbes a couple of years ago. It's one of the hardest days of your life is the day that you retire. And we give that away complimentary on our websites. Anybody who asks for it, it's research on Forbes. It's a thing, Doug, people don't realize. It's like you have to prepare for it. So I can't just say, I'm going to retire. It's not like you go to a rental car like Jerry and said, Anybody can take a reservation, but can you hold a reservation? And that's what retirement is you're taking the reservation that you're going to go into retirement. But then now you're there. It's like, okay, now I'm paying myself. Now I have all these extra hours available. What am I going to do for it? And there's a spreadsheet you can create yourself. We can help you out with that spreadsheet of planning your retirement, making sure you're ready to retire, not just because you're going to retire.
So there's just the want to. There's if you have enough money. What other factors do you help people walk through when they're making that life-changing decision?
You got to break it down into years as well. I mean, have you prepared enough to get to retirement? Okay, most people say, hey, I want to retire between 60 and 65. According to the government, the full retirement age now is 66 to 67. So you've basically worked 45 years of your life, and then your life expectancy is 79 to retire for 12 years. That's not how you want to do it. You want to retire when you're comfortable retire. Plan out your retirement. Say, okay, I want to have a trip here once a year. I want to play golf here. I want to see the grandkids here. You have to have a list of what you're going to be doing in retirement. And then once you have that list of like, okay, I want to do a cruise a year, or I want to go to the beach a year, then you got to look at your finances. Say, okay, where am I going to take this money out of? Where's my funds going to come from? It's like, okay, I have this money here. How's that money going to do? How much money do I have at risk? What if my money that's at risk takes a nosedive with the market if it happens like that? You got to plan for the intangibles. Retirement's not a one-time say, hey, boom. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to people that went to retire, and then within a few months or a year or two later, they're back working again because they retired too early or they weren't ready for retirement. People are so hurried to do something sometimes. They rush into it. It's kind of like when you go shopping at the mall and you're with somebody and you buy something because you want it, not because you need it. You're spending an extra $150 on something you just wanted, but you don't need it. And then comes later in the day, you're like, you need $150 because you got a flat tire. It's like, uh-oh, now I don't have that $150 because I bought the G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip over here that I didn't need. I just wanted it. And that's when you're going into retirement. There's so many things you got to line up. Like, okay, housing. Is your house paid off? Are you going to downsize? Are you going to plan on living here for the rest of your life? Are you going to move? I mean, my mom, God bless her, her second husband passed away 6 years ago. She said she was going to downsize. She was going to move. 6 years later, guess what? How fast does 6 years go by? I mean, we know how fast time goes by. I mean, my daughter just turned 10 a few months ago. It's like, geez, it seems like yesterday I was throwing her over my shoulder. Not literally throwing her, but time goes by quick. And then if you don't have a plan saying, okay, I'm going to downsize, I'm going to move to the beach, I'm going to move to Florida, I'm going to do this in 3 years and plan for it. Otherwise, if you don't plan, Doug, what happens?
Off course.
And it's like, you ever watch football? How many times you hear the announcer saying, stay on schedule? The team stays on schedule. They have a more opportunity to score a touchdown than being 1st and 15, 1st and 20 every play, instead of being 1st and 5, 1st and 2nd and 4 going forward.
Oh, that's a great point. So definitely want to plan. Now, what steps can people take if they're in their later accumulating years? They see retirement in sight, whether it's 62, 65, 67. What are some steps they could take just besides having saved money? What if you hit age 59 and a half when your 401k can technically have money come out of it? What should they start doing before they actually send in their retirement letter to their boss?
One of the first things is this is going to be another episode. It's not how much money you have, it's how much income you have coming in. That's going to be another show we're going to be doing down the road. But first thing you want to do is someone says, I have this much money. Okay, how are you going to break that money down? You got to assume the worst and expect the best. One thing in this world nobody knows is when that day is going to come when you're going to leave this earth. I mean, I have a client that's 104, outlived her whole family. You just don't know. But you assume, okay, that's going to live till 90 years old. So if you plan accordingly to live to 90, if you go past 90, fantastic. But a plan to 90 is, okay, do I have my house paid off? Do I have my car? Do I have the intangibles? How much is going to pay here, 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 and here, and here? You have to have that spread out for you. Because the last thing you want to do is go into retirement thinking that you're going to enjoy every day like Saturday and then not have any money to enjoy it, that you're living on a fixed schedule. It's kind of like those people right now, unfortunately, out there live paycheck to paycheck. There's nothing harder. I've done it. I did it for so many years when I was growing up. I couldn't do anything until I got my next paycheck. And you don't want to live paycheck to paycheck in retirement. Too many people in this world rely on Social Security as their sole income. I mean, over 83%, they say in some studies that that's their main source of income in retirement is Social Security. Now, how much can you really enjoy on Social Security as your main source of income? And there's nothing wrong. My mom does it. My dad does it. I have several other clients. The client I just had lunch with a little while ago, they're retired from the post office after 33 years, and they're working at Costco 3 days a week, just A, to get out of the house, B, for a supplemental income, and C, to meet other people. Because if you retire and you're by yourself, or you're just life and your family doesn't live around here, loneliness is a depression. I'm sorry. You don't want to be a depressant. No. Getting out. I mean, even if you made an extra couple $100 a week and you're out working 10 hours extra a week at Costco, Home Depot, whoever it might be, you're alive. You're out in the society. You feel important. It's extra income. It's extra money to spend. It's extra time to do something. But more importantly, you're interacting. That's one of the biggest things when you're working every day and you're at the office in Atlanta. You see all the people you walk in. Hey, Joe. Hey, Emily. Hey, Casey. How y'all doing? Great. Yeah. How was your night? Blah, blah. Now you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, okay. I'm not watching The View. No, not watching The Price is Right. No, okay. I'm going to take a nap. And there's no excitement in that.
Well, and you can, and if someone is wary about trying to work again, or maybe they'll give them too much income or whatever it is, they can also volunteer, right? There's so many places to volunteer, and you can pull a few hours a week and help people help themselves. Well, Dolph, if someone is coming to the realization upon hearing this that they need help, they need someone to step in and help guide them through some of these steps to figure out when and if they can retire and how, and maybe how much they need. They come to you. How do they get in touch with you, and what do you walk them through once they do?
Well, we're accessible in all different ways: website, phone, email, text, however you want to get a hold of us, through guardyoursavings.com. Our main page is clearincomeforlife.com. And what we do is we lay out a plan, figure out what you have for today. Are you planning for today? Are you ready for tomorrow? And then the never area, are you ready for the intangibles, the money you don't expect to spend, but you have to have out there in the future? Because if you don't have never money, it's hard to retire, because you never know what could happen down the future. Yeah. You can't predict the unknown. And so if you're just living on today's money and you have a little bit of tomorrow money, your success ratio is probably going to go down. And then you have to look at your risk factor. How much money is your portfolio at risk? 99% of my clients have a second advisor. And I take care of the guarantees. I take care of the insured. I take care of the protection. I take care of the unknown. I work with guarantees, not promises. The other advisor they work with, those are the ones that say, hey, I'm going to take that risk. I'm going to try to hit that 300-yard 3-wood over water in a creek at the same time and hope I get it 1 out of every 10 times like Tin Cup. No, mine is your ball's already on the green and you're putting for birdie from 5 feet, and you're going to make that thing every single time. That's the difference. And one of my a client I just met with the other day goes, Dolph, why do 99? Who's that 1%? I said, myself. I am the 1% of my clients, because I am a client of myself. I have what I offer. And I don't need another advisor because I'm doing it myself. I'm preparing for a guaranteed income, guaranteed retirement versus an unknown.
Yeah, well, that's all good stuff to know. If you schedule right now, or you go to guardyoursavings.com or clearincomestrategies.com and talk with Dolph and his team, you can schedule a 20-minute Ask Anything session. Ask Dolph Anything session. And Dolph, if they do it now, they can get your book for free too, right? Tell them about that.
Yeah, I wrote a book a couple of years ago, Cross the Bridge to Retirement. It's a very simple read, 157 pages. You can probably read it in 2-3 hours. I got the big words, not the little tiny words, but the big words. Makes it simple to read. Just guides you through all the different phases of retirement, all the different retirement ages, whether when Social Security starts, when it's available, Medicare, when that's available, when your RMDs have to start coming out. I mean, it's just all the different things that people don't realize when it's in retirement, that every year you get older, a different opportunity opens up. Another door opens up out there. And the more doors you open, the more you're going to enjoy retirement.
The more doors you open, the more you're going to enjoy retirement. I love that, Dolph. Again, that book is Cross the Bridge to Retirement, and you can get your free copy in that complimentary session with Dolph and the team, not only by going to guardyoursavings.com, but calling 704-919-0149. Dolph, thank you so much for spending some time with us today, and not only enlightening about your food choices at Thanksgiving, but more importantly, about when people can retire and all the different factors to consider, sir.
Absolutely, my friend Doug. It's always a pleasure speaking with you. And anytime we can help one person educate themselves, it opens a door for a whole plethora of people. So take care and God bless.
Hey, same to you, Dolph. Thank you very much. Thank everybody for listening to the Guard Your Savings podcast. Thanks to our producer, Alfred Romero, who is editing this and getting this published. And we'll have another episode coming your way very specifically about an income during retirement. That'll be on our next show. Till then, God bless, and we'll see you soon.
By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance products, including annuities offered through Dolph Janis, North Carolina Insurance License number 8483456. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties. Dolph Janis is not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Dolph Janis is licensed in your state, please call 704-919-0149.